Hello, hi, how's it going? How are you? Oh my god, it's been so long since I last saw you. How have you been? By the way, literally, I don't know what's going on, but your skin is stunning. Oh my god, like, are you wearing highlight? No, it's just your natural glow. I literally hate you, but we should totally get lunch sometime. Welcome to my wrap up for August and September. Woo! Party! I never made a wrap up for August because like soon after the month ended, I went straight into the Spooky Smart Bitch readathon and the vlogging and everything like that, and it was crazy, and I was like, you know what? Fuck the wrap up. I'll do the wrap up later. So I'm doing it now. Plus we're gonna do September's wrap up. There are approximately 17 books that we need to talk about. Here's how it's gonna fucking work, okay? I'm gonna give you like a basic idea of how I felt about these books, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail because if you're interested in detail, most of them have corresponding like vlogs or videos where I talk about them. So I will link all of those down below. And if you want to hear me talk more specifically about something, just check the description. Okay? Okay. I am, I don't know, a model. Today, I'm literally serving you camp, but also Jessica Rabbit, but like almost sexier. Literally nobody thinks that. It is crazy to me to watch the 1080p 4K 60 frames per second video of me vlogging and not having any makeup on, not having my extensions in or any kind of like permanent extension, and just seeing that face and then seeing this like makeup and clothing is an amazing fucking thing. I am fully a catfish and I'm okay with it. So if you're new to my wrap-ups, first of all, hi, how are you? I'm Jordaline, your local neighborhood friendly gay? What? I'm here to talk about horror and thrillers and stuff, so if you're new, go ahead and hit subscribe, all that other shit. But if you're new, how it works is I talk about the books from my least favorite to my ding most favorite. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the books that I read in August and September. Let's get started. Let's stop fucking around and let's find the fuck out. Okay? First things first, I want to talk about the books actually that I haven't finished or that I DNF'd. To be fair to you and me, I'm not going to rank them. I'm going to talk about them quickly and then we're going to move on. So first of all, I am currently reading Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I really like this so far. I haven't finished it though, so I don't want to give my thoughts and opinions, but I'll do that in October for my wrap up then. Give you like a little brief summary of what I think. But it's lesbians, bing bada boom. Also, this is my Patreon smut club pick for September. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, it's always an option. By the way, in case you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically like a subscription service type of thing where you sign up for a specific tier and then you would receive those things during the month as like little rewards or like as part of your subscription. It's just an extra way to support me and the channel if you're interested. Anyway, I'm reading that currently. I haven't finished it, so I don't want to talk about it. Also, I did DNF the book Final Girls by Mr. Riley Sager. Truly so sad. Just kidding, it's not, because I fucking hated it. And I honestly, and this is crazy, I honestly don't remember why I DNF'd it, and I also don't remember like literally anything about the book. Like I think I was in like a fugue state while I was reading Final Girls because I don't remember anything. I just remember feeling bored and like ugh. You know when you're reading a book and all you could do is just think about how much better your life would be if you weren't fucking reading that book? That was me while I was reading Riley Sager's Final Girls. So I DNF'd it, I think at like 30%, maybe 40%, I can't remember, because I don't remember the fucking book. I literally don't remember anything about it, but whatever. DNF'd it. The Riley Sager vlog, it's dead. It's dead in the water. Riley Sager vlog is Margaret Larkin. If you get that reference, we're fucking best fucking friends. Now on to the actual ranking for the last 2 months. Let's get started. The last place surprised me actually. I didn't expect to dislike this book, but then Surprise, surprise. That is the Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I really didn't like this. So in this book, in case you don't know, we're following this guy named Art Barbara. And that's like a fake name. The real dude's name, we don't know. But Art is writing his little memoir moment. And then we also have his friend, whose name I literally fucking forget. Misery, is that her name? Her name is like Misery or something. I forget. It's not Misery, but it is Misery. He meets this girl when he's like in high school. They have this club called the Pallbearers Club, which is actually like literally not even like part of the fucking book. Like it's barely a fucking plot point in the book. Why is the book named after it? That's stupid. But anyway, basically Art starts to think that his new friend is a vampire. First of all, the gall and the fucking gumption of Paul Tremblay to think that literally anyone wants to read about a fucking whiny white guy being like, life is hard for me. Life is hard for me. Like, Paul, really flabbergasted, literally beyond words. I don't have the words to describe to you. Like, I was like reading it being like, this motherfucker is the whiniest, most entitled motherfucker. And I hate him. I hated him so much from page 1. Because he would just be like, I'm smart and I'm handsome and but like people don't see my value. And it's like, Art, it's all because you're just like mediocre. And that's the most frustrating thing about it. And the only parts of the book I really liked were Misery or Mercy. Mercy's point of view, because Mercy would tell him like it fucking was. Like, hey Art, you're not fucking special. Nothing about you is fucking special. Nobody gives a flying fuck because everybody else has their own shit to worry about. Like, so maybe just like reevaluate. And like, not only that, but she would like call him out for being like a fucking liar. Cause the whole book, he's just like a liar. He's a liar. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but he's literally a fucking liar. Also, I'm sorry, the horror parts, the thriller parts, so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. There's only one part of the book that I really liked, and that was the dresser. That part, that was cool to me. But like everything else, the Polaroid and the fucking jacket, cheesy, corny, not frightening at all. I don't find fear in these things. I don't find enjoyment or intrigue in these things. So yeah, I did not like this at all. I would probably give it 1 star, maybe 2, but probably 1, because I just couldn't fuck with it. And like the longer it sits with me in my little fucking bird brain, the longer I have to like rethink about my own interpretation of it and come to the conclusion that I in fact do hate it more than I thought I did. So that's great. Thanks, Paul. That was great. Next, let's talk about Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is similar to Final Girls by Riley Sager in that I don't really remember it that much. All I do remember is feeling that the book exhibited mediocrity at best. And like, I read this 2 months ago, so bear with me, but I remember that the ending had some kind of plot twist. I don't remember it exactly, but I remember being like, oh, that's crazy. But then immediately feeling like, whatever, who gives a flying fuck? I don't really have much to say about this book because it was very much just whatever. I immediately forgot about it. I don't remember the character's name. The characters don't stick out in my mind at all because they're literally one-note motherfuckers, like most of Riley Sager's books. I'm so sorry if you're a Riley Sager fan or stan, but like the guy, his characters are one-dimensional in my experience. Like, I want so badly, and you know this, I want so badly to love a Riley Sager book, but I just cannot. Like, his books just don't fuck with me. I just don't fuck with his books. I don't understand why I can't find a book of his that I like. Everything I've read has been mediocre, forgettable, and predictable as well. So, bummer. Next, we have Plain Dark Heroines. If you watched my Dark Academia reading vlog, you probably saw this. The second one, I mean. Plain Bad Heroines is about this team of women. They're all working on this movie about some girls from like the 1800s who like were lesbians but then like killed themselves or they died or something. They're working on this movie at this like school where these girls went, and oh no, it's like haunted, but also like dark academia, blah blah blah. I read this for the reading vlog. I was loving it. I was living. I was like, I was like, gay, 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 gay. The end of the book ripped away my joy, ripped away my happiness, ripped away everything. The ending of the book was so like underwhelming, underdeveloped, underprepared that I didn't know what to do with myself almost. Like it literally just ends after some exposition type shit and then boom, you're supposed to just like move on with your life apparently. No, I hated the ending so much. While it does have a lot of queerness and homosexuality, the plot is a fucking mess because it's seemingly going smoothly and then you get to the end of the book, bing bada boom, she's just like, never mind, fuck you. That if you want to see me talk more at length about it, you can watch the Dark Academia 2 reading vlog. And we also have No One's Home by DM Pulley. I read this for the Spooky Smart Bitch readathon. I will link the vlog it's attached to in the description. No One's Home, the more I sit with it and the more I think about my experience of reading it, I realize that I don't remember much about it and that it was kind of boring. I remember feeling while I was reading it, feeling as though the book was too long, it was dragging, it was going on for too much, despite it having like these really interesting like plot points of like the plot sort of guiding your thought process a certain direction, and then about halfway through the book she's like, never mind, what if it's like this, and like does like a switcheroo on you. I liked that. What I didn't like was the fact that the characters were literally so forgettable, so boring. There was like no development to them. The book is overall, in my opinion, just forgettable because I literally forgot that I read it. Like, I'm not even joking. I think overall I would give it 2.75, if not 3 stars, something like that. Like it's not bad, but for me it also wasn't great or perfect. Like I think it's like right in the middle, maybe like 2.5 stars. Up next, let's talk about Jawbone by Monica Ojeda. This is a thriller horror novel type situation, translated actually by Sarah Booker. So Jawbone is following 3 women, three people. 2 of them are best friends, Fernanda and Anne. They're like in high school, they do everything together. They're kind of like the queen bees of their little clique, of their little group. They do crazy wild shit. They have this like drag queen god. They basically coerce their friends into jumping off things like buildings and fucking like, it's crazy. And then we have a teacher at their school named Miss Clara. Now Miss Clara at the beginning of the novel kidnaps Fernanda. She kidnaps Fernanda. She takes her, and then Fernanda's like, what the fuck is going on? I want to go home. And Miss Clara says, no, we need to fucking talk about what you fucking did. And so it's like a crazy thing. And so we're going back and forth between like then versus now, etc., etc. I liked this book. However, it's a miracle. And I mean it. Like, it's a fucking miracle that I finished it. If I wasn't reading it for my Patreon, for like a Patreon exclusive type reading vlog, I would not have finished it, because this book is chunky. Like, it looks like a normal book, it looks fine, but in fact it is secretly just a book with a block of text. Like, there are so many pages like this that are just full on, no breaks, just blocks and and I'm the kind of reader personally who needs dialogue. Like, I need things to be broken up, otherwise I get overwhelmed. I get stressed out. So this was stressful. I feel as though I am being indoctrinated into some crazy cult thing. Not only that, but Monica Ojeda's writing, while stunning, lacks precision, lacks coherence almost in a way. Like she just rambles and goes on and on and on about the most mundane shit. And like I would understand it if it was like in service of the characters, but it's almost too much. It is too much because she just goes on. Maybe I liked this less than I thought I did. Monica, why did you do this? Thankfully, because I'm a smart bitch, I skimmed parts. There were parts of this book where I would see like a big block of text and I would be reading and then I'd be like, this part that I'm reading is pretty fucking boring and I don't really give a flying fuck. So I would just skim until I got to a part that I did actually like and that I was interested in. And literally, I didn't miss anything. Literally the entire plot of the book, it's still here. I know what happens. And yet there were multiple pages that I did not read. I don't know if I'd recommend this because also there is no audiobook, so you have to read it physically. And I'm lazy. So literally it's amazing that I read this. How in the name of Lucifer did I read this? I don't know if I would recommend it. I would say give it a shot, give it a try, but I'm honestly pretty sure, because this is my Patreon horror book club pick, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person within my Patreon who actually read this, and that's saying something. Like a bunch of people have put into the Discord like, I fucking tried, dude, but I DNF'd, like I couldn't do it. And like, first of all, jealous? I don't know. Okay, I want to talk about this quickly because I talked about it quite at length in another video, and that is Babel by R.F. Kong. This is about this guy named Robin. When he's a child, he's basically like rescued by this white dude because he's like, hey, I was gonna say America, you want to come to England with me because your mom's dead and you're gonna die probably. And he's like, well, I guess so, I have no other choice. So he goes with this white guy to England. This white guy's like, I'll teach you about linguistics, you're welcome. So Robin gets into this like very prestigious school called Babel and shit goes from there. I really wanted to love this. But I think why I didn't love it comes down to my taste in terms of writing. R.F. Kong's writing has never been my style. I don't really fuck with it for some reason. Secondly, Robin as a character felt like he was lacking and I couldn't actually ever connect to his character. Thirdly, the plot didn't have a clear through line. Is that what they say? Through line? Through line? It didn't have a clear path. Like at the beginning of the book, I wasn't like, I can't wait till we get to this point. It was very much like, what's next? If you want to hear me talk more about it, please check out that vlog. Next, let's talk about You Make a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Kweki Emezi. This fucking cover, dude, gets me every time. Ugh. I read this for my Patreon smut club in August, and this is about a woman named Feihi. Feihi starts sort of dating, but not really dating, kind of like just like a friends situation with this guy. She goes to his family home, she meets his family, whatever. She also happens to meet his father. And bing bada boom, you know, they fall in love. Her and this dude's father. And then, you know, drama. And I liked this a lot, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite Kweki Emezi book. I think they've done better, honestly, but I really did like it. I don't have that much to say about it. Like, it was just fine. I liked the drama. I liked the characters. I liked that it was kind of gay. Wow, she's a book reviewer. That's right. I review books for a living. Are you jealous? Probably not. You're like, bitch, you're bad at this. Anyway, next, let's talk about What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I also read this for a vlog, so if you're interested in watching that, I will link it down below. But What Moves the Dead is a retelling of The Fall of the Usher House by Edgar Allan Poe. So it's about this guy. He gets like a message from his like old friends being like, you should come visit. And so he goes to visit them. So he gets there to visit his friends and they look ill. They look sick. They look dead. Like, it's creepy. It's fucking weird. And so he's like, the fuck? So then we're basically following him and all these other characters and like the mystery of what the fuck is happening at this specific house. Now, while I really enjoyed this book and I liked how creepy it was, it did seem quite similar to Mexican Gothic in some ways. I thought it was fine. Also similar to You Make a Fool of Death. I don't have that much to say about this. Like, it was fine. It was something to read. It wasn't bad. The writing was pretty cool. I liked the characters. I liked the twists and the turns. Watch the vlog where I talk about this because I have a much better range of emotion. Please, because I don't know, I'm not feeling it for some reason. And then, okay, let's talk about Summer Sons by Lee Mandello. Summer Sons is about this guy whose best friend dies. He's like dead. It's like a total bummer. And so he has to go to where his friend was living and going to university to like figure his shit out. The book is basically him trying to reconcile the death of his best friend, reconcile his identity, while also dealing with like an actual phantom that's haunting him. It's pretty wild. I did read it for the Dark Academia reading vlog. Dark Academia, it is not. Don't read it for that. It's not Dark Academia. Don't do it. While I liked it, because it was like a compelling mystery slash ghost story, it also was pretty gay. Similar to the other books in this sort of like section, like this middle section. There was nothing really inherently special about it. Not that I can think of, at least. Like, at least for me, like nothing about it really stood out. I think it's gonna be a book in 2022 that I forget that I read, to be honest. Right now, I would say I'd give it like a 3.5, maybe like a 3.75. Where I'm sitting at the moment. Being in the middle is much worse than being like on the hated scale or the loving scale. Like, I hate this middle section because it's sort of like, what do I fucking tell you? Like, the book was fine. Like, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. You know, it's like that kind of thing. Whereas like if I loved it, I would sing its praises. If I hated it, I would tell you all the reasons why I hated it. But like, I can't sit here in the middle and be like, it was fine. The characters were fine. Like, it's such an awkward, stupid fucking place. Anyway, I read Summer Sons. Okay, now we're starting to get into the stuff that I really, really liked. First of all, we're going to start with Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. This is about a girl who's possessed, not by a demon, but by something else. It's like this really cool story about fucking friendship, about fucking being a woman, about fucking menstruating. It's real cool. The book also has this like twisty kind of narrative where you're really unsure what's going on at the beginning. And when you reach the middle of the book, you start to realize that there's like other stuff going on as well. It's really, really crazy. Really, really liked this. Again, I talked about it in a reading vlog, so I will link that down below. Next, let's talk about The Possession of Natalie Glasgow by Hailey Piper. This book is wild. Like, you wouldn't think that this tiny little book with its giant fucking writing would be wild, but it's fucking wild. Reading this, I was fucked up. This is about this woman whose daughter, Natalie, is possessed. Our main character, Margaret, is this like expert in supernatural shit. So she goes to help Natalie, who's like, you know, prowling at night, eating raw meat and shit, just being like a fucking demon. By the way, she's like 11 years old, so this is very weird. She sort of uncovers the mystery of what happened, why Natalie is possessed. This is fucking wild, dude. This is fucking wild. Wild. Like, I never in a million years would have been like, yeah, Natalie Glasgow is gonna surprise me. It does, though. In a slight way, it kind of subverts the possession genre, and by the end of it, you're kind of like, I never would have saw that coming. That's fucking wild, but also work, you know? That's how I felt about it. Next, let's talk about Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. Am I losing my fucking voice? What the fuck is going on? It's fucking crazy, dude. This is about this woman named Lori. Lori has an obsession with this like serial killer guy named Edmund Cox, who is convicted of murdering like 20 fucking people and like being like really fucking gross, like Ed Gein type shit. So Edmund is like, hey Lori, can you just like go in the middle of fucking nowhere, just like go talk to the riverman and get this key for me? Thanks. So Lori's like, of course Edmund, I would like do anything for you. And so she goes and she takes along with her fucking sister, who is mentally handicapped, who is disabled, and the book is wild. You start the book and you think you know what the fuck is going on. Backstory on these fucking people is wild. I was shooketh the entire time while reading this. It is like a horror splatterpunk type thing, but I wouldn't say that it's like scary. If anything, it's just sort of disturbing in a psychological sense. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Let's also talk about These Violent Delights by Mika Never Ever. This is a book about two dudes who become like very fast friends and maybe more, and they become like obsessed with each other, and to appease each other, they come up with a plan to do something to sort of immortalize their love in a way. This book, I would say, is somewhat like The Secret History mixed with Exquisite Corpse. Like it's beautiful in its writing. It's beautiful in its characterization. It has this like very like prestigious, entitled, you know, nose up in the air kind of feeling, which is like very dark academia, very Secret History, but also it has this sort of underlayer and like underbelly of madness in a way, and like obsession and delusion. Check out the reading vlog I did if you want to hear me talk more about it. I go quite in detail about my thoughts there. Check it out. We have 2 books left, my 2 top favorite books of the months. You're not going to be surprised by either of these. I'm certainly not. But first of all, we have Now You're One of Us by Asano Nami. I finally fucking read this. I finally read it after months, years of me talking about. I finally read it and I get it. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I read this in 2 days and it had me on my toes. Watch those reading vlogs, dude. I was on the precipice. The precipice. It was crazy. So this is about this woman. She marries into this family, and originally she wasn't even gonna marry into this family because she was like, nah, it's not my thing. But she gets like seduced, and so she marries into this family, and slowly she's starting to get like suspicious of these fucking people because weird shit keeps happening, weird shit that she keeps seeing, and they keep gaslighting her. Listen, go into this as blind as possible. Just trust me. Trust me. You will be sucked in and sucked dry. Ew. What? No. You will be sucked in and they will not let you go. It very much gives me vibes kind of like Confessions. The last book of this wrap up, honestly, I made pretty good time, is Mary, of course, by Nat Cassidy. Look at this. Ugh. By the way, the original cover for this book, Tor Nightfire, Daddy Tor, this makes sense. This is cute, sure, it's beautiful, but this captures me in a way that I can't explain. Anyway, honestly, do a special edition and have it be this cover because I would buy 60,000 copies. Anyway, so Mary, as I'm sure you probably all know, was like one of my new favorite books of all time. This is about this woman named Mary. Duh, you probably know this already, but she's like 50. She's like near menopause, and she starts having these weird delusions, these weird hallucinations. She looks in the mirror, she sees herself, but she sees herself decaying. And Mary also happens to get fired from her fucking job because they're like, you're kind of old. Which I'm pretty sure is like illegal, but whatever. So Mary is like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my hometown and help my little Aunt Nadine because I'm a good person. And she goes back to her hometown. She meets this girl. She starts doing like research about certain things, and it's just crazy. Listen, there were so many parts of this book that I loved. So many quotes. I'm telling you, if you haven't, watch the reading vlog. I'm telling you, there are reading vlogs for almost all of these books. The reading vlog I did for this was so much fun. Talk about this book in full detail. Not like spoiler detail, but like I talk about the quotes, I talk about the writing and the characters and like my thoughts and theories and everything. But I loved this so fucking much. And out of this entire video, these 2 books are the ones that you should read. I wasted, I don't know how many hours reading all of these books over the last 2 months. And I'm telling you, these 2 books are the ones that are really fucking worth it. If you're going to do anything after watching this, read these. Hi, Bug. Hi. Hi. What are you doing? We are so cute. Oh, Bug, look at us. We look so stunning. Look at us. We're models. You don't know what you look like, do you? You can't recognize your own reflection. Oh my god. As he looks at himself. Listen, I'm just telling you. If you like horror, if you like possession stories, if you like gory, gross stuff, if you love beautiful fucking writing, pick this up. Excuse me, sir. Pick this up. I'm not even fucking around. Just do it, please. My friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know, I felt weird during this video. I felt like a negative energy, but honestly, I also kind of live for it. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this time with me. I'm so glad that we had this moment together. If you're watching till the end, please leave me this emoji. If you leave that emoji, I will know for sure that you are one of us. Are you one of us? Good. I thought so. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about bug and shit. You're so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to let me know down below what you thought of all these books, if you've read any of them. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Say goodbye, Bug. Say goodbye. 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 Look at your chubby. Ow. Okay, thank you. Ow.